Hello everyone. In today's video, I would like to share with you what a day in the life of our community looks like. This particular video will show what we do in order to get out the message of Jesus on a daily basis. Many people write to us asking how we go about sharing the teachings of Jesus aside from our YouTube channel. In this video, I hope to inspire those of you out there who want to know what it looks like to go into all the world and preach the gospel of Jesus. In a very short time, I want to impress upon you just how easy it is to reach a lot of people each and every day for Christ. When many people think of witnessing or evangelizing, they often assume that you might simply hold up signs on street corners or stand on a box and draw a crowd by preaching. There's nothing wrong with this way of sharing the teachings of Jesus, and we use those sort of methods from time to time. However, we have found that when we distribute materials which contain the teachings of Jesus, whether we use CDs, books, or tracts, this gives people a chance to take it home and listen to the CD or read our material in their own time, which usually gives them the ability to grasp the message better than if we simply had a long conversation with them. People can easily forget the strong points of what we have shared with them verbally. So the material helps them retain the lessons that we are trying to teach them. Another benefit of distributing our own material is that a single CD can act as a seed that can be used to reach more than just one person. What I mean is that if we approach one person with a CD, they can take it home or put it in their car CD player, and other people can hear the same message just through that one CD. In a sense, we are allowing people the opportunity to become evangelists themselves, simply by playing the CD in their car when they are driving with other people. Sometimes people ask for multiple CDs or tracks so that they can pass them out to friends, family, or even coworkers. It's very inspiring to think about how many people we can reach with one CD or tract. One of the first problems we encounter when going out to evangelize is fear. Fear keeps us from taking that first step towards reaching others with the gospel. Although it can be quite intimidating at first to approach a stranger, we have to get it very clear in our minds where fear comes from, which is the devil. God, on the other hand, gives us the strength to overcome fear with faith if we just simply ask God for the strength to witness to people. It pays to pray fervently for more love for the people to whom we are trying to help. The Apostle John states this clearly for our benefit. There is no fear in love, because perfect love casts out all fear. The more we love the people we are trying to reach, the more bold we will become in our efforts to preach the gospel. There is another aspect of fear that can cripple us spiritually and keep us from being effective witnesses for Christ, and this is the fear of being rejected. But we have to remember that no servant is above his master, and as a follower of Jesus, we know that if the world treated him with contempt, then they will do the same to us. Try to remember these words from Jesus. A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for a disciple to be like his teacher, and a servant like his master. If the head of the house has been called the prince of demons, how much more the members of his household? We have to accept the fact that we will face a lot of rejection when we're out there on the streets. We can choose to let the rejection bring us down, or we can choose to see it as one of the ways that God is refining us and making us stronger. As Christians, there are some lessons that we can only learn by facing hardships and trials for the sake of the gospel. When we endure hardships for the cause of Christ, we grow spiritually in ways that we can never grow without facing these trials. Now that we have briefly covered how to view and handle the fear of evangelizing, let's move on to the practicalities of approaching people. We have found a few certain techniques to be very helpful, and we'll show you a few of these now so that you can get out there wherever you live and try it yourself. The first thing we do when we offer someone a CD is to very briefly tell the person what the CD is about. For instance, I usually say something like, "Hello, did you get one of these?" while I am extending my arm to offer them the CD. Then I quickly follow that up with, "This is a CD that my friends and I made about the teachings of Jesus." You'd be surprised at how such a simple statement can pique the interest of the average individual. Then right after we explain what the CD is, we ask the person if they are willing to share any small donation, even if it is 1 penny, to help us cover the cost of printing the material. We ask for donations for 2 main reasons. One, Jesus commanded us that we should ask people for help with material things. And the Apostle Paul was quite clear that we should expect help with material things if we are taking the time to help people spiritually. Here are 2 clear examples given by the Apostle Paul. If we have sown spiritual seed among you, is it too much to reap a material harvest from you? And here's another one from Paul just a few verses later. In the same way, the Lord has commanded that those who preach the gospel should receive their living from the gospel. We have found that God uses the kindness of strangers as one way to provide for our material needs. Another reason we ask for a small donation is so that we can determine if the person really wants what we are offering them. People might happily accept something if it's offered to them for free, but if we ask for even a single penny and they immediately hand it back, that's usually an indication that they were just taking it out of politeness. Or they were assuming it was just some free trinket that they would probably throw away soon after we walked away from them. Visitors and new members to our community can usually get over their fear of approaching strangers in a reasonably short amount of time. However, when it comes to asking these same strangers for a donation to help support the ministry, people often feel that it's somehow unspiritual to ask for help in this way. But it helps to remember that we are not selling the CDs. We will accept anything the public is willing to give for the CD or tract, so long as we can see that they are genuinely interested. We want the public to see that what we have is worth something. Over the years, we have tried offering our material without asking for any donation. And the end result is that we saw most of our material littered all over the parking lot or sidewalk. It appeared that most of the people didn't really want it, and they just took what was being offered without giving much thought. When we ask someone for a single penny or a piece of fruit from their shopping cart, it makes them pause and decide if they really do want what we have. Hopefully, you can see the good sense in why we ask for something. If people show a genuine interest in the CD, yet they literally don't have a penny to share, then based on their desire to listen to the CD or read the tract, we are quite happy to give it away for free. It's also very important when we are out preaching the gospel that we stay inspired. It's easy to become discouraged by the rejection we face, but we make it harder on ourselves if we only focus on the rejection, rather than on the friendly encounters we have had throughout the day. Avoid arguing with people. This is spiritually destructive for a number of reasons. For starters, if people just want to argue against the teachings of Jesus, then we are wasting our time trying to convince someone of the truth when they are showing quite clearly that they have no interest. Jesus tells us not to give dogs what is sacred and not to throw out pearls to pigs. Otherwise, they will likely turn quite nasty towards us. He wants us to determine who is worthy to receive our time and energy, and who is showing themselves to be unworthy. This does not mean that we need to be rude or unloving to these people. We just simply say that we would rather not engage in any arguments and move on to finding the next person. Over time, you will learn how to discern who is sincerely seeking the truth and who is not. If you feel the conversation is going well and the person is interested in knowing more of Jesus' teachings, then you can feel free to spend more time with that person in the hopes of inspiring them to move closer to following Jesus themselves. However, even if the conversation is going well, don't be afraid to ask them if they would like to continue the discussion later through email or possibly a phone call. If they say they would like to meet up again for a more in-depth discussion regarding the teachings of Jesus, then pick a time that's good for the both of you to do so. Who knows, you may have just found another disciple. Okay, now that we have gone over some of the essentials of how to share the message, I want to leave you with one last thought. Jesus tells us to pick up our own cross daily and to go into all the world to teach people to obey Him. He tells us that if we want to find our true lives, we must first learn to let go of the life we are living without Him. Jesus says, whoever loves his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and for the gospel will find it. If we aren't willing to get out there and share the teachings of Jesus with the world, which is the good news that everyone needs to hear, then we have to ask ourselves if we really love Him like we say we do. If you love me, you will obey my teaching. Remember, Jesus says that the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few in between. He commands us to pray for more laborers to preach the gospel everywhere. Are you ready to work for God? We'd love to hear from you soon. Please subscribe and share this video with as many people as you can. God bless you.